All right, now with election season round the corner, a high-level meeting between Election Commission and the Health Ministry is currently underway. Niti Aayog member V.K. Paul has told the Election Commission that in the current situation, large rallies and road shows should not be held. Election Commission wants political parties to stop rallies themselves. The Election Commission is likely to announce poll dates for 5 states soon enough. Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Goa, Punjab and Manipur are slated to go to polls in the coming months. India Today has learned that a 6 to 8 phase election will be conducted in Uttar Pradesh, a 3-phase election in Punjab, 3-phase polls in Manipur and a single-phase election in Uttarakhand and in Goa is what is expected. Now, let's take a quick look at those states that are worse affected by COVID-19, which is seeing a serious surge in COVID. Chaiti Narula explains to us.
The top 5 states that have registered maximum number of cases in India. Let's get you Maharashtra, 26,538. Just look at the way the virus is spreading in Maharashtra. In Delhi, 10,665. Kerala, 4,801. West Bengal, 14,022. And Tamil Nadu, 4,862. Total of 90,928. Almost touching a lakh any moment now because of the way and the positivity rate being so high of this particular virus. So in the last 24 hours, this has been the spike in the coronavirus cases in the country.
Now, the national capital has reported a huge surge in its COVID-19 tally. Delhi has seen 10,666 fresh cases in a single day, a 94% rise from its Tuesday's tally of 5,481. With this surge, active cases in the capital has breached 23,000 mark. The last time the national capital reported over 10,000 cases was about 238 days ago. In fact, the positivity rate in the city has reached 11.8%. This means in every 100 people tested, nearly 12 people have been found positive. With cases surging, Delhi government has now directed major private hospitals to ramp up their infrastructure and ensure that 40% of their beds and are currently reserved for COVID patients. Delhi government has also extended the last date for filing applications in nursery schools. Moreover, from tomorrow, weekend curfew will begin in Delhi.
अभी का ये कहना है, जितने भी एक्सपीरियंस बता रहे हैं हिंदुस्तान के अंदर भी, आप मुंबई देख लीजिएगा, मुंबई का एक्सपीरियंस ले लीजिएगा, वहाँ पर हमारी डॉक्टरों से बात हुई है, हॉस्पिटल से बात हुई है, सीवियरिटी इज़ वेरी लेस एज कम्पेयर टू अर्लियर वीक्स. पिछली बारी जो सीवियरिटी थी बहुत ज़्यादा थी, इस बारी बहुत कम है. बहुत सारे लोगों को तो सिम्टम्स भी नहीं है. जो ये नंबर्स आ रहा है, टेस्टिंग ज़्यादा है तो इसलिए ज़्यादा नंबर आ रहा है. काफ़ी सारे लोग ऐसे जिनको कोई सिम्टम नहीं है, जिनको पता भी नहीं लग रहा है.
Meanwhile, the Delhi government has put some curbs in place to avoid a surge in COVID cases. Akshatanand Gopal brings us those details.
With 10,000 plus cases being reported in the national capital, here's a look at the curbs that have been introduced by the Delhi government. Weekend curfew comes into effect starting this weekend. So from tomorrow, Friday, 10 p.m. to Monday, 5 a.m. is the timing of the weekend curfew. Night curfew is already in effect, the timing of which is 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Besides that, the other restrictions include cinema halls, spas, gyms, all of that being completely shut. Schools and colleges, any educational institutions are currently shut. Malls are allowed to function, but the shops will function within the mall on an odd-even basis. Besides that, weddings, funerals, there's a cap on the number of people who can attend. 50 is the limit right now, according to the Delhi government. Bars and restaurants are open, they're functioning, but at 50% seating capacity to ensure that social distancing is maintained. Private offices have been told to ensure only 50% workforce comes to office, the rest go ahead and work from home. As far as Delhi government offices are concerned, it's 100% work from home right now.
All right, now a massive COVID surge has been reported in Mumbai. In fact, the financial capital has now recorded over 15,000 infections with 3 deaths reported in the last 24 hours. There is no end to the COVID woes in the city. Mumbai has reported nearly 50,000 cases in the last 5 days alone. Mumbai positivity rate is now close to 20%, means that 20 people out of 100 are now testing positive. The virus has not spared our frontline workers too. Nearly 160 resident doctors in Mumbai have also tested positive for COVID-19 in the last 3 days. Mumbai has over 35,487 beds available for COVID patients, out of which 14.4% of beds are occupied by patients so far. To stop the spread of the virus here, Maharashtra government has now already imposed a night curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., which will be effective until the 15th of January. Restaurants, bars are operating at 50% of seating capacity. Section 144 has been imposed in Mumbai until the 7th of January. Maximum 50 people are allowed in closed spaces. Marriages, religious and political events, only half the capacity.
रेस्ट्रिक्शंस के बारे में हम लॉकडाउन यह परिभाषा अभी करने वाले भी नहीं है और लॉकडाउन का आज इमीडिएटली सोचने वाला बात भी नहीं है, लेकिन निश्चित तौर पर रेस्ट्रिक्शंस को और ज़्यादा अच्छी तरह से इम्प्लीमेंट करना, यानी जो निर्बंध लगाए गए उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करना, ये चैलेंजिंग काम है और ये होना ज़रूरी है।
हमने 15 फरवरी तक कॉलेजेस बंद करने का निर्णय लिया है, ऑनलाइन एग्ज़ाम करने का भी निर्णय लिया है और ये मैं अकेले ने निर्णय नहीं किया है। कल हमारे सब जो महाराष्ट्र के जिलाधिकारी है, हमारे कमिश्नर लोग हैं, उनके साथ हमने बातचीत की, उन्होंने फाइनल किया है कि ऐसा करना ही उचित रहेगा। और मेरे ख्याल से जो हमारा स्टाफ है, शिक्षक है, शिक्षकेतर कर्मचारी है, उनको भी 50% महाविद्यालय में या विद्यापीठ में लाया जाएगा और रोटेशन से उनको काम दिया जाएगा।
Now, meanwhile, BMC Commissioner Iqbal Chahal speaks exclusively to India Today's consulting editor Rajdeep Sardesai on COVID curbs amid the Omicron spike in Mumbai. Let's have a listen.
Are you saying no lockdown for now because the situation is under control? Number of oxygen beds are plentiful. It's not Omicron is not resulting in any pressure on the health infrastructure. Are you saying therefore no lockdown at least in the near future, Mr. Municipal Commissioner?
Third wave is different from the first and second wave when positivity was the benchmark. The government of India would say that once the positivity goes beyond 5%, the situation for lockdown starts arising. Here, that day on 31st December, our positivity was 12%. Today is 22%. I said, instead of positivity being a benchmark, the new benchmark should be hospitalization. How many hospital beds are vacant, ICU, oxygen, other beds? And second, what is the status of our health infrastructure in general? Now, everybody agreed that since Mumbai has even today almost 94%, 96% beds lying vacant in hospitals, hardly anybody in ICU, and people going to even oxygenated beds are also, people are going more as a matter of precaution. People who are very aged, they are highly comorbid. Otherwise, 90 to 91% people out of this 10,000, 11,000 coming now are asymptomatic. They don't need any medication. They just need to isolate themselves home. And remaining 9%, 10% also, half of them, they don't go to hospitals. So it was decided that we will again meet around 10th of January and see how things are unfolding. Until that time, we didn't bring any more restrictions except two. Number one, we said that from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m., we would avoid gatherings as the crowded places like Gateway of India, Marine Drive, and beaches of Mumbai, nothing more than that. And secondly, we said that from 3rd of Jan, we will close the schools for 3 weeks as a matter of abundant precaution from class 1 to class 8. But class 9 to class 12, the children shall come to school for vaccination purposes. We have launched the vaccination drive on 3rd.
Now, in a major global breakthrough towards cutting down procedural delays in genome sequencing to ascertain the Omicron variant of COVID, Tata Medical and Diagnostic Centre developed the world's first test kit, OmiSure, that can now detect the Omicron variant. India Today's Milan Sharma has spoken to the head research and development of Tata Medical and Diagnostic Centre, Dr. V. Ravi. Let's have a listen.
Is this test kit going to be available for the common public, and how does it work? How can you and I test with it to find out if we are infected with the Omicron variant?
Thank you, Milan, for having me on the show. The OmiSure kit is a real-time PCR kit. It is designed to be used on all available real-time PCR machines. It detects genetic material in the nasopharyngeal and throat swabs of individuals where the specimen is collected. The principle of the test is it specifically identifies Omicron. How it does is using two strategies combined into one. The first strategy is it picks up S gene dropout, meaning because of mutations in Omicron, the conventional PCR will not work for S gene. Now, there are some kits in the market which do that. This is called S gene dropout. In addition, we have made sure that we have S gene specific mutation detection. For the first time in the world, these two have been combined along with another gene called RDRP of the virus. Together, what these three genes do is they identify all SARS-CoV-2 viruses, all variants. If it is Omicron, then the gene dropout will be detected, plus the gene mutation will be detected. Therefore, in a matter of 2.5 hours, by routine real-time PCR, we'll be able to say if it is Omicron or not. The biggest advantage this test has is it has been confirmed on sequenced samples by ICMR in their extensive evaluation. So we hope it is going to replace genome sequencing. The third thing I would like to mention is it is a PCR, so it cannot be done at home as a self-test because it is not an antigen test. So the specimen has to be collected and the test has to be carried out in the laboratory.
All right, I'm going to quickly cut across to the number of COVID-19 cases on the rise in the country, the Omicron variant being the dominant one. A total of 2,630 cases of Omicron have been reported in India so far. A few states that are seeing a serious spike, Maharashtra being on top with 797 cases of Omicron that have been reported. And then you have Delhi with 465 cases of Omicron that was reported in Delhi. And then you have Kerala, Karnataka and Rajasthan. In Kerala, 234 cases of Omicron. Rajasthan, 236 cases of Omicron. Karnataka, 226 cases of Omicron that's been reported. Remember, overall, there's 2,630 cases of Omicron. Those cases, positive cases, genome sequencing were carried out and then a result had come about. Now, there are many more that need to yet go under genome sequencing treatment to understand if it is really the Omicron variant or not. But experts say that it indeed is the dominant variant in India today. Now, pianist and noted music composer Neil, who founded Shillong Chamber, breathed his last in Mumbai. The choir representatives have confirmed this tragic news. Unfortunately, this is the news that we're currently tracking. Neil Nongrin, who founded the Shillong Chamber Choir, has breathed his last in Mumbai. The choir representatives, unfortunately, has confirmed this tragic news.
Shillong Chamber Choir founder and noted music composer Neil Nongkin died in Mumbai after a brief illness. This was confirmed by choir officials on January 5th. The 52-year-old music conductor and composer who led the Shillong Chamber Choir to national fame after winning a reality show India's Got Talent in 2010 passed away at the Reliance Hospital in Mumbai after a brief illness. Neil and the entire choir had been in Mumbai for the past 3 months due to work commitments. Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Sangma condoled his death and said that the country had lost a gem. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended condolences to Neil's family and admirers. In a tweet, Prime Minister Modi said that Neil was an outstanding mentor to the Shillong Chamber Choir, adding that his creativity will always be remembered. Neil, who was an alumni of London's prestigious Trinity College of Music, returned to India in 2001 after years of performing and teaching music in England to set up the Shillong Chamber Choir.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
You don't want that sort of, dejected, I'm sorry, I'm from the northeast of India. You are the Shillong Chamber Choir, and God has given you a gift. and you all worked hard. Let's see if you can walk the way I'm saying. And don't be self-conscious.
The choir collaborated with the famed Vienna Orchestra in 2009. While also collaborating with Indian musicians such as Ustad Zakir Hussain, Usha Uttup and Shankar Ehsan Loy. The choir performed for former US President Barack Obama and the then First Lady Michelle Obama during their visit to India in 2010. The choir's Christmas album in 2011 became India's highest-selling non-movie music album. The choir's rendition of Vande Mataram was played during the live telecast program of Indian space rocket Chandrayaan 2's landing on the moon.
मुझे गर्व है हिंदुस्तान पर, मुझे गर्व है तिरंगे पर.
Neil was awarded the Padma Shri in 2015. Entertainment Bureau, India Today.